welcome to Behind the Stars, Eva Green. The mesmerizing French actress who has long captivated audiences with her mysterious aura, piercing gaze, and daring sense of style, has once again sent shockwaves through Hollywood and the fashion world with a series of photographs that are nothing short of breathtaking, powerful, and scandalously glamorous. And in these striking new images, she dares to cross boundaries that few actresses of her caliber would even attempt, appearing in an ensemble so daring, so electrifying, and so dangerously unforgettable that it leaves little to the imagination and positions her at the very center of heated conversations, whispered rumors, and passionate admiration across every corner of the entertainment industry. Because Eva Green has never been one to play it safe or hide behind the expected, she has always been bold, unapologetic, and audaciously confident, embodying the kind of cinematic goddess who understands that glamour is not just about clothes or poses, but about the fire in one's eyes and the daring in one's choices. And this latest appearance proves why she remains a timeless symbol of intoxicating allure, gothic elegance, and avant-garde sophistication. And as the photographs circulate, the internet ignites with commentary that ranges from awestruck praise to shocked gasps, with fans and critics alike unable to look away from the dangerously revealing shots where she adorns a barely there string, complemented by her trademark smoky eyes and raven hair, creating an image so magnetic that it feels more like an iconic piece of cinematic art than a mere photo shoot. Because Eva Green doesn't just wear fashion, she transforms it into a living narrative of seduction, mystery, and feminine power, and every frame tells a story of defiance, of a woman refusing to be boxed into Hollywood's neat little categories, instead embracing the full spectrum of glamour, provocation, and emotional intensity. And this is exactly why Eva Green continues to stand apart from her contemporaries. Because while many actresses chase trends or bend themselves to fit an industry mold, Eva asserts herself as the mold breaker, the iconoclast, the risk-taker, the enchantress who doesn't simply star in films but becomes a film herself, embodying that rare brand of star who blurs the lines between reality and cinematic fantasy. And her latest daring photos prove once again that she knows how to command attention, how to make jaws drop, and how to ensure that her legacy as one of the most glamorous, daring, and unforgettable actresses of her generation will endure for decades to come. And in these hauntingly beautiful images, she invites the world into her world of mystery, passion, and fearless expression, leaving audiences both stunned and spellbound. Often thrives on conformity, and in every shot, in every carefully sculpted pose, she sends a message to Hollywood and to the world that glamour is power, sensuality is strength, and that beauty, when paired with intelligence, boldness, and mystery, can be a force that commands not just attention but reverence. And this is why Eva Green remains unmatched. Because while others may flash for a moment in the fickle spotlight, she burns like a rare flame that only grows more dangerous and more compelling with time. And as the photos went viral across social media platforms, hashtags linked to her name trended globally, sparking conversations that ranged from pure admiration to outright disbelief, because it takes a certain kind of audacity to step so unapologetically into the public eye wearing something that leaves almost nothing hidden. And yet, Eva Green does it not for shock value but as a declaration of agency, proving that she is not a muse at the mercy of cameras but the director of her own cinematic myth, orchestrating the gaze of millions and turning vulnerability into an armor of glamour. And in doing so, she joins the ranks of legendary icons like Marilyn Monroe, Brigitte Bardot, and Sophia Loren, women who also understood that the art of seduction and the mastery of presence is not simply about what one reveals, but about how one controls the narrative around that revelation. And Eva Green, with her mysterious French elegance, has mastered that art like few others, ensuring that her name will forever be etched into the book of Hollywood legends. Yet what sets Eva Green apart in this chapter of her career is not just the visual allure of her photos, but the story behind them. Because those who have followed her journey know that she is a woman of many contradictions, both ethereal and grounded, seductive yet intellectual, shy in interviews yet fearless in front of the camera, and it is precisely this enigmatic duality that makes her such a powerful figure in the entertainment world. because when she appears in daring photos that leave little to the imagination, she is not merely a passive subject of beauty, but an active creator of meaning, challenging the outdated ideas that women must choose between being respected for their craft or admired for their sensuality, and instead showing that the two can not only coexist but enhance each other. And in this, she becomes a voice for countless women who have struggled to balance professional credibility with personal expression, reminding them that one does not diminish the other, and that true glamour lies in embracing the full complexity of who you are, whether that means dazzling on the big screen in a critically acclaimed film or taking control of your image in a daring, controversial photo shoot that the world cannot stop talking about. And still, the fascination grows because Eva Green has always been more than an actress. She is a symbol, a muse, a gothic goddess whose very presence evokes poetry and mystery. And when fans describe her latest G-string photos, they don't simply talk about clothing or beauty. They speak in metaphors in cinematic language, as if describing a scene out of a film noir where desire and danger blur into one intoxicating vision. And in a time when celebrity culture often feels predictable and overexposed, Eva's ability to create mystery is perhaps her greatest weapon. Because while she dares to show much, she reveals little of herself beyond the image, keeping the audience in a constant state of curiosity, a state that fuels her stardom and ensures her relevance. And this is why her influence is not fleeting but enduring, why her photos become moments, and why her every move is studied, dissected, and remembered long after others fade into obscurity. Because Eva Green does not just enter the spotlight, she redefines it, bends it to her will, and turns it into a stage where she alone dictates the performance. In the grand scheme of Hollywood, where stars rise and fall with dizzying speed, Eva Green's latest photos prove why she belongs to the rare echelon of untouchable icons. Because no matter how daring the outfit, no matter how scandalous the pose, there is always elegance in her execution, always artistry in her choices, and always that haunting quality in her eyes that reminds you that behind the glamour, behind the provocation, lies a woman of immense talent, intellect, and depth, and perhaps that is the secret of her longevity. Because Eva Green is not afraid to be provocative, but she is never careless, not afraid to shock, but always calculated. And in a world where fame often burns too fast and too bright, she continues to glow with an intensity that only grows stronger with time. And as fans look back on these photos in the years to come, they won't just remember the G-string, the allure, or the scandal. They will remember how Eva Green once again dared to be different, dared to command attention, and dared to be unforgettable, proving that sometimes the most powerful statement a star can make is to embrace the full force of their glamour and leave the world absolutely breathless, alone with their thoughts and forever captivated.